It's very clear what's going on. These are the kinds of problems we're having issues with. So let's just say hypothetically we got something like this. The absolute value of 2x plus 1 is greater than or equal to 7. Negative 2x plus 1. Okay, I need quiet. I need everybody's attention up here. Turn around. Okay. So that's the issue right now. What do we do? First of all, one uncommon mistake, but it happened a little bit. I can see this going on. People were trying to, because that's an absolute value bars, they tried to make that a positive 2. Can't do that. That's not what we do. Remember what we do here is whatever's inside the absolute value bars, argument, oops. That's supposed to be, let's do this, absolute value bars blue. Like that, okay? Whatever is inside the absolute value bars, so the negative 2x plus 1 is either going to be what? Okay, it's either going to be greater than or equal to 7, or what's in the absolute value bars is less than or equal to negative 7. And we don't change anything. We're just going to leave it as a negative 2x plus 1, right? And we just solve both of those. So I subtract 1. And then I divide by negative 2, right? Which flips the inequalities, right?
Yeah.
So I end up with x is less than or equal to negative 3, or x is greater than or equal to positive 4. But depending on the order that you wrote these two statements, you might have had these backwards. It doesn't matter. It doesn't make any difference, because when you express your answer, remember that what we always want to do with our answer is we want to think about it in terms of a number line, right? If I were to graph this thing, I would have one boundary at negative 3 and one at positive 4, correct? When I graph it, I'm going to be graphing everything on or to the right of 4, or everything on or to the left of negative 3. So in my answer, you might be thinking, well, where's the Moodle didn't give me the right stuff? It did. You have to write this as x is less than or equal to negative 3, or x is greater than or equal to positive 4, so that it matches a number line. So that the left boundary, the negative 3 boundary, goes on the left, and the positive 4 boundary goes on the right. Okay? Make sense?
Yeah.
The other thing where that showed up, where people had trouble, is they correctly solve one. Maybe they get an answer like this. They solve an and inequality. And let's just say this is their answer. They get something like that. Okay, that's not how we want to write it. That doesn't match the number line, does it? We've got to get the negative 3 on the left and the positive 4 on the right. So we've got to transform this to be like that. Okay, make sense?
Yeah.
I think there was one problem on there that wasn't grading correctly. It's the one of them that had a fraction. And that one, I'll just, we'll flag it, or I'll go in and fix it or something. But I think that one I know about. The others I think should all be okay though. Yes, ma'am.
Do you always have to switch it? Like if you're going to make the negative 7, do you always have to switch it?
No, but what you always do have to have is I'm not sure if I understood your question. Here's what you always do have to have. You always want to have the lesser of the two boundaries on the left and the greater on the right.
No, on the last page.
Mm-hmm.
Will you go to the last page, please?
This one back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you wrote the negative 7, why did you switch it? The little sign.
Because no, that is always, yeah. When you have an absolute value of something, ignore it. Absolute value of hand is greater than or equal to, either or, some number, right? Then it's always going to end up, when we rewrite that as a compound inequality, because that's our strategy, remember. We always want to take an absolute value equation or inequality and trade it for two non-absolute value equations or inequalities, right? So the absolute value of hand will always be hand is greater than or equal to the positive, or less than or equal to the negative.
Oh, okay.
Okay? So it makes it extreme. It's either really negative or really positive
Okay.
for an or statement. Okay? Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're good. Let's head down.
Okay.